Welcome back to another video, everybody. I'm Kramer, the shop manager at Tactical Fly Fisher. Here today to talk to you about a couple new products that we recently added in the strike indicator line. We've got the OROS strike indicators here, and then we have the New Zealand strike indicators right here. So we're going to talk about the difference between the two. We're going to start with the OROS. The OROS is basically a foam indicator that unscrews in the center, and the line runs through the center. We'll show you how to set this up here in just a minute. The advantages to this indicator is that it's very easy to attach to your line, and it doesn't damage your tippet. It's also very easy to adjust for depth. You just loosen it up a little bit, slide it up to where you want it, and retighten it back down. It's also very lightweight and very buoyant, so it does support a surprising amount of weight for the size. And it comes in 3 different sizes, so you could go from this, which is a small, all the way up to a large, which is great for suspending either very heavy nymph rigs or heavier still water type stuff. This is probably the best solid / foam type indicator on the market right now, just because the line does run through the center of it. A lot of the other products are offset and kind of hang lopsided off the line and create some issues in the cast. This being inline on your rig makes it cast a lot easier, causes fewer tangles, and makes it pick up off the water easier. The one con to it is that, like any solid indicator, it does create a little bit of a splash when it hits the water. So if you're fishing very shallow, clear water or fishing over very spooky fish, you might spook a few of them here and there, and you might be better off switching to another type of indicator, which is where the New Zealand strike indicator comes into play. New Zealand strike indicator is a nifty little tool that basically uses small pieces of surgical tubing to hold natural wool to your line. This creates an extremely lightweight and very stealthy indicator that lands pretty much just like a dry fly would on the surface of the water. So it's perfect for those very clear, very stealthy conditions. It is easier to use and cast than other types of foam / fiber indicators. So we've all seen the poly yarn ones with a rubber O-ring or something on that. This is a lot easier to attach to your line. Doesn't cause some of the kinks in your tippet that some of those will, and is much easier to adjust for depth. The only disadvantage to this is that, at least in the regular size, because it is limited to a certain amount of wool, it may not hold enough weight to fish a very heavy nymph rig. So if you're in a position where you need a lot of weight that this one will not hold up, there is an extra large version of this that will hold a lot of weight, or you can switch to a more solid type indicator again, maybe like the OROS. All right, so here's how you install the OROS strike indicators. You're going to separate it by twisting the 2 halves counterclockwise. You're going to see one half has a threaded post on it with a slot in the center. Your tippet or leader is going to run right through that post. And then you just screw the halves back together. Now when you screw these down, you want to get it snug. So you want to turn and twist it until it's snug, but you don't want to over tighten it because it's going to be a lot harder to get apart. So you just get it nice and snug like that, and there's your indicator. If you want to move it, just loosen it up just a touch, slide it up your leader, and retighten. All right, so now we're going to rig up the New Zealand strike indicator. This is one of their yarn spools. You can purchase the wool either like this or in loose bundles of wool. This yarn is sized pretty much perfectly though to fit directly into the tubing. So what we're going to do is, first off, we're going to cut off a section. We're going to set that aside. Now we're going to take our tool, and if you look at it, it's got a little hook on the end. So you're going to hook the tippet through there and then slide your tubing down the tippet and then take your hook off. And what you're going to be left with is with a little loop like this. You're going to take the yarn and you're going to slide it through that loop and then pull your tubing up tight and make sure that it's centered. And then you're just going to pull on both ends of your tippet until that yarn pulls down into the tubing. At this point, I like to brush it out, maybe mix it up a little bit just to help spread it out and give it a little more surface area on the water. If it's too long at this point, you can cut it down if you want a really small indicator for fishing midges or something like that, or you can just leave it like this. All right, now that we've got this all rigged up, let's go give it a try, see if we can get on some fish. right, thanks for watching this video. If you need either of these strike indicators or anything else for your fly fishing or fly tying, head on over to tacticalflyfisher.com to get all set up. Also, remember to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so you get notifications anytime we post a new video.